Welcome to GHT Time. This is a General Hospital Daily Review for Monday, June 22nd. So I have a question for you. Who's not winning Parent of the Year awards? If you guessed Dante and Lulu, you got the first half right. So Cassius slash Nathan came over to talk to these two, and he's telling them, listen, I know we're Britt and Rocco are at, right? So he was like, they're in the British Virgin Islands. So these two look at each other. So he realizes, oh, you guys already knew this, right? So they like, yeah, we already knew that part. But he actually has the address of where they're at. So they want to know where he got this information from, right? So he's like, I can't tell you that because he don't want to put Charlotte and Danny underneath the bus, right? And I don't blame him because these two probably would have jumped down Charlotte and Danny's throat trying to find out some more information, but the only information you need is that address to go get your son. So he was like, I'm protecting my sources, but for giving them the address, he wants them not to press charges against Britt. These two are just going in. They like Brit this, Brit that, Brit this. Yes, Brit should not have taken that teenager nowhere and all that kind of stuff. He is a minor and all that stuff. I agree. What I agree with more with Nathan is that he was like, what you guys are acting like y'all don't realize, which they know, their son did not come to them for help. That's one. The reason why he's in all of that trouble with Brit and everything, because they was like, oh, he was at the pier. He took himself down to that pier. He's been inserting himself into Brit's life, even though they told him not to. Rocco is old enough to understand. This is the problem that I have with Lulu and Dante. They be acting like everybody else's fault but Rocco's. Rocco, what, 16 years old, maybe 17? He's old enough to be able to take his consequences for the stuff that he's doing. Look at this. What he did cost him all this, right? Now he's on the run with this lady. This man is after him, all kind of stuff. Make this boy take responsibility. Anyway, these two still act like that went over their head. They had when Nathan said that to them, they looking at him all like, oh, flabbergasted. Oh, I can't believe you're saying that. It's the truth. He went with her. Like, come on. He has not asked you two for help yet. Anyway, for the information, he wants them to leave Bird alone. So they finally, I don't even know if they agreed. He just gave them the address. They didn't say yes or no. So I don't know why Nathan gave them the address, but he did give it to them. But I'm like, all this time you're wasting, you should be already over there to go get Rocco. What are y'all doing? So anyway, they turned around after he gave him the address, told him he could leave. So these people are not friends with him anymore, Lulu and Dante. He's pariah now because he wanted to protect his sister. And I guess they're gonna go out there to get Rocco. Look, I want this whole situation to be wrapped up because I like Dante. I'm still on the fence about this new Lulu that they got. I like the actress because I remember her from All My Children, but I don't like the way they're writing her as Lulu. And I'm just like, these two gotta do better, and they need to make Rocco be held accountable and stop just blaming Brit for everything. And that's where I'm at with this. You guys let me know what you think down in the comment section. But they need to just really wrap this up. If you get your second guess was Portia and Curtis, you are 100% correct. You got all the answers right. These people are not winning Parent of the Year awards. So Trina came over and she was just kind of putting her parents kind of in check, just telling them, her feelings about her life and how she felt like she had to fix whatever they were going through, especially after what they helped her with Spencer to get over the whole thing with Spencer. So she felt that she had to help them with their marriage, right? She said she even went in to say that she broke up with Kai because Kai had gave that information. Remember, he said something about to Drew about what parents was up to. I'm sorry. When she mentioned that, I was like, Drew, Kai wasn't wrong on that. He shouldn't be telling people's family business going over there to help Drew. That no, she was right for breaking up with Kai for that. But anyway, she said that's how extreme she has gone to defend her parents, right? Um, so the parents understood. Curtis and Portia were just listening to her and her rant and stuff like that. My good thing with Trina is no one asked you to do this. It almost seemed like she was accusing her parents of making her do this. They didn't ask you to do this. You felt that you needed to do this. Um, they skating on that line of making Trina annoying, and I'm like, don't do this. I really like the character of Trina. I'm glad she's saying she's taking some time for herself. She did tell her parents, please don't contact her. She'll contact them. Portia asked her about, will you be there for the when the baby's born? She said, of course, she wants to be there when her sibling is born. But other than that, she don't want to hear from them before that. I'm in agreement on some aspect. I think this is a bit extreme. She had to do this. It doesn't seem like her parents were really chasing her down or trying to make her do, intervene in their marriage. I don't think they even asked her to take sides. If I'm right, you guys let me know down in the comment section. Maybe I missed it. So I think this is a little extreme. I think she should have just went along with her life. She should have just gone to do things that Trina needed to do and not felt like she needed to intervene in everything that they are up to, all this nonsense and shenanigan stuff. But anyway, she put some ground rules in place. I'm kind of liking that everybody's putting these little ground rules. I should say that much. So everybody know where to go and where not to step and all kind of stuff like that. Because Portia did tell Curtis, back off a little bit too. So hopefully overall this will help the family structure as a whole. But please, writers, stop skating that line because they really doing a bad job right now with Curtis and Jordan, and they skating that line with Trina. And I just don't want this to all be overall that we just don't like these characters. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. Willa was talking to Drew, and she told him, she's getting ready to leave, and she's like, the caregiver is on his way. I was like, this caregiver is actually going to show up. We ain't seen this caregiver in 80 years, right? So anyway, Sewell pops out the back, and she asked him, well, how you get in my house? He said, like you got in through the front door. I was like, oh, excuse me. He's just walking in people's houses. But here goes the thing. Sewell wants to camp out at Willow's house for a few days and while he does whatever. He said that he's not leaving town because Willow did say, why you ain't just get on one of your jets and get up on out of here? He was like, he spent too much time on that project. He wants to see that come to fruition. And he wants to find out who, caused his son's demise. Plus, he's not going to let Cullum get all the reap the benefits from the project once it's done. So Willow was like, why you want to stay here? I'm like, why you want to stay there? Out of all the places in the world to stay, why would you stay at Willow's? I get it. She's the congresswoman who's going to come there and look. But it's kind of weird that that's his spot, right? I don't know. I feel like he had other places he could have went. But I think he did tell Willow that's the reason why he wants to stay there. He was like, she's a congresswoman, ain't nobody coming there to look. But Willow does have a lot of people coming in and out of her house. So on top of that, he told Willow, look, I'll make you a deal. I'll get you all the drugs you need to keep Drew in that state. Or he'll go and tell the cops. If he gets taken down, he's going to tell them everything that she's done. So Willow is just looking. Now she in this dilemma, right? Before she can answer Sewell to say yes, you can stay or no, you can't. The doorbell rings. It's Chase. Chase wants to tell her that he's not taking that job that she offered. But her house can maybe be Grand Central Station because Chase is there going to tell her this stuff. I think Joe Fitzpatrick is going to come on over there. So I'm telling you, Sewell need to go find a new spot to live. But Willow, she need to stop drugging Drew at this point. It's information and I don't know what she's going to do. She's caught in a dilemma. Just stop giving him that medication. None of this is going to end well for her. It's funny, right? There was an officer that came up to Joe and said, are you available to take a statement? And he was like, oh, I guess so. Like he was like, I can make time. He was like, good luck with that. I was like, wow. He was talking about Lucy. But Joe was like, what? He looked up and here go Lucy. Lucy standing there. I feel that officer. Lucy is a bit much. We all know that. So Lucy came in to tell Joe about her theory about how Willow was at the house, the Quartermaines, on the night of that stupid accident between Curtis and Jordan, and that nobody looked into her. And then Joe is like, oh, okay, well, do you have anything against the congresswoman and stuff? She's like, oh no, I'm just a concerned citizen. Anyway, she put Willow on Joe's radar. So Joe is going to go over there to see if, what Willow was doing. See if maybe she has an alibi during that time. Lucy, look, I'm sorry. I don't know why she would go. This is such a dumb plan. But anyway, Lucy done put it in the mix. We'll see what happens with this. Brooklyn makes no sense to me. She is putting in so much effort to keep this marriage together. It makes no sense. She can't say anything. She can't ask any questions. I mean, like, this doesn't make any sense. She's doing this crazy plan to keep this marriage together. That is not how you keep a marriage together. This doesn't make any kind of sense at all. So Chase and her were looking over baby Phoebe and they're all happy, right? But Chase got up early and Brooklyn noticed. And Brooklyn says, "Oh, what you get up early for? Is it to avoid Tracy?" Why you need to avoid Tracy? Get out her house. Go get your own apartment. Y'all don't have to live there. Like I don't understand this part. So he's avoiding Tracy because what Tracy did to him. What did Tracy do to him? This and Brooklyn is saying this too. She's like, I know you got to deal with my grandmother and what she did to you. What did she do to him? What? He arrested Tracy and took her down to the station in handcuffs for some nonsense. So I understand Brooklyn's playing this game, so she could be on the good side of Chase and Willow and make him think that she's this person who's not causing any strife. But it's dumb, like So anyway, Chase said, FYI, he going over to Willows. He want to let her know, in advance and stuff like that, about to tell her about that job offer. So Brooklyn didn't feel like she can ask him about the job offer. He was like, you don't want to know what I'm gonna say? Why is this not open dialogue with y'all? I'm gonna tell Willow I'm not taking the job because this and that. Or why Brooklyn can't say, I'm thank you for not taking that job because I didn't want you to do it. No, we can't have that dialogue. Girl, get rid of this man. He is not your husband anymore. Like if you feel like you can't speak to him, the only thing I can speak to is about this baby, that'll make no sense. So Chase went over to Willow's and then Lucy came over and Lucy said she went down to the precinct. She put Willow on Joe's radar. So she's, Brooklyn is like, this is all great because it's good for it's going to make my family stronger. But here goes Lucy. Lucy says she want payment for putting herself out there like that. See, Lucy ain't doing nothing for free, right? And Brooklyn should have known this. And see, Brooklyn's so clouded by this whole Chase nonsense. She didn't even ask Lucy, why you helping me? Why you gonna go down there and do this? What do you want? Right? Something tell me that Lucy probably gonna ask her for her shares of deception, so Lucy could be in charge of deception again. But I tell you one thing, I would give her that because that company is probably gonna drown anyway. Because after they find out that whole nonsense about what Silwell was dragging in and out of that place, I can't see that place surviving. But we gonna see what happens with this. But Brooklyn is getting what she deserves because she need to let Chase go and stop with this nonsense. She's putting herself in a bad predicament. Ethan came over to get Ava. Ava and him is going back and forth because Ava said, I ain't going over there to Sunny's. She's not just going to get up and just go. She was like, and she's like, only thing Sunny want to talk to me is about Sidwell. And she was like, I don't have nothing to say about that. So I'm like, Ava, just make your life easy. Just go on over there and tell him you ain't got no information on Sidwell. What would she know? She don't know where he going to go hide out at and stuff like that. So Ethan and her start talking about Phoebe. And Ava did say she's going to keep herself quiet but as long as he doesn't do anything to jeopardize the baby, right? If she starts seeing something like he's scamming in some kind of way, that she gonna tell. But he was just like, no, he wouldn't do that, especially to an innocent. He's like, he got his rules and his way, and he's not gonna just be doing that to baby Phoebe. And plus, he got a good relationship with Tracy. I can't see Ethan doing, just maliciously doing something. So Ava was like, he don't get something for nothing. If Sunny starts bothering her too much, she wants Ethan to intervene and step in, kind of just keep the peace between them two. So, Ethan laughed it off and he said, nah, he got her. And Ava went and they went to go talk to Sunny. Um, on top of that, guys, that was this episode. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. What did you think about this episode? What was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? My least favorite part, I have to say, was that whole thing between Dante and Lulu. Dante was acting just as clueless. That's funny. But anyway, clueless as Chase. Remember when he was talking to Chase and he was telling Chase that that whole thing with Willow? He act like the same thing, like he was just dumbfounded that Nathan was saying or Cassius was saying this stuff to him. He was 100% correct on what he said to Dante and Lulu. But guys, let me know what you think. I love thumbs up, smiley faces, and also encouraging words. You guys keep me going. I love that comment section. You guys are funny. I'll talk to you guys later, but don't forget to hit that bell notification and the like and subscribe because it really helps the channel. And thank you for joining us again at GHT Time. Till next time, bye.